Few things are more exciting in the credit card game when you find the perfect value sweet spot, when it feels like your cards, your strategy, or your redemptions are all working overtime for you. Now, it's these goldmine moments that a lot of beginners through even intermediates often miss. These take a lot of time and some trial and error to really find what works well. But in this video, I want to fast track that process for you. I'm going to share with you the 5 value plays that I'm seeing right now that are just overpowered and awesome opportunities for anybody, no matter what cards you start with or where you're at in your credit card journey. I'll show you exactly what these strategies and redemptions are and how to go about getting it yourself if it seems like a good fit for you. Let's look at value play number 1. And this is on the hotel side. And I'm going to call this the short and long-term power based around the Marriott Boundless credit card. Now, this value play would potentially apply to anybody who's considering traveling in the next year and would be staying in a hotel to do so. The value is centered on the fact that there is a huge potential for short-term sign-up bonus redemption, as well as playing that into a longer value that sets you up to get one of the most premium travel credit cards that is a great deal in the current market. Let me explain how it works. The Boundless has long had one of my favorite sign-up bonuses. Of course, at the time I'm recording this video, it has their legendary 5 free nights sign-up bonus, but even when that's not being marketed, the other sign-up bonuses are still really strong. They may offer free nights, but less so, or a combination of free nights and points, and for just a $95 annual fee card that has some other good benefits inside of it as well. There's a lot of potential early on with the card. The first thing I want to point out is the flexibility in the sign-up bonus. If you go for a sign-up bonus with X free nights, you're going to want to strategize and likely redeem those for the best, highest profile properties you can within those points caps. Now, a warning that these free night awards do expire within a year. However, they can be topped off with an additional 15,000 Bonvoy points, giving you some more flexibility in that redemption. For example, if you went with the 5 free night award certificate sign-up bonus, you could get into a property like the Marriott Marquise in San Diego, right on the marina. This is an incredible property that books typically for a cash price of hundreds and hundreds of dollars a night. However, say you miss out on a free night certificate bonus and you instead get presented with one that's a high points offer. This is not necessarily a bad thing, and again, the flexibility is key. With a high points offer, you don't necessarily have to use those points within a year or lose them. You can keep them and use them as you'd like, whether it's for high value, big redemption properties, or booking a ton of smaller redemption properties and getting the most practical possible value in many night stays that you could. For example, say you grab just a 150,000 Marriott bonus point offer, you could theoretically stay 10 nights in these Kansas City hotels, which are nice properties close to where I live. While not the most glamorous stay, these are practical redemptions that are going to stretch your dollars really far. Now, to find out when these bonuses are occurring, I highly encourage you to subscribe to the bonus offer notifications in the link below. It's completely free and it will allow you to select the cards you're interested in and then get pinged when those cards have limited time elevated offers. Now, like I said, I don't just love the Boundless for the sign-up bonus. You also get Marriott Silver Elite status, which does have a late checkout, and you get an annual free night award just for holding the card. Some people will decide they love the card at the $95 price point, and that's great. But a lot of people will decide to use this card as a gateway to the Ritz-Carlton credit card, a card that I've talked about in a number of other videos, which is a premium travel credit card at a price that's a lot less than the other premium travel credit cards. That card is not accessible for public application. You have to hold a Marriott Bonvoy card for a year, have a $10,000 credit limit, and only then can you product change to the Ritz card, which is a goal for a lot of people. The entire value play for the Boundless is a great entry with a sign-up bonus that's very flexible depending on your travel needs, and a great end game, whether it's holding the card or transitioning onto that valuable premium Ritz-Carlton credit card. Sound pretty good? Well, let's just say the others on this list, I believe, get even better. Let's switch over to the airfare side of things and look at ideal companion travel. There are a ton of different ways to get companion discounted tickets. However, I've determined that today there are two best ways that are just superior to every other method. I think about this one a lot because I strategize my travel alongside my wife and try to use credit cards to fund for free or greatly reduce any vacation that we take together. Let's look at the best value play for someone who wants to travel a ton with a specific companion. To me, the clear standout is to pair the Southwest Rapid Rewards Plus credit card with the Southwest Rapid Rewards Premier business card. This is perfect for someone who wants to maximize travel with a companion within a 2-year stretch. Southwest offers that companion ticket, which you can get after getting 135,000 qualifying Rapid Rewards points. The Plus card, which is a personal card, combined with the business card, are going to get you there, especially with the spend required to hit those sign-up bonuses. That's just $168 in annual fees, which will trigger an unlimited companion ticket to be used as many times within the year that you qualify for those 135,000 points and the entire next calendar year after that. This will save you hundreds and hundreds of dollars with your companion, and the more you use it, the more money you'll save. Now let's talk about the best value for someone who wants to take their companion on vacation or different trips, but isn't planning on using this a ton. In my eyes, the best value play here for this type of traveler is the Delta SkyMiles Platinum card. Overall, the SkyMiles Platinum is just one of my favorite airline credit cards, and a large portion of that value that you get on the card is in the form of the once annual companion ticket. Now, this doesn't come into play right away. You have to hold the card for a year before getting issued this companion ticket once a year, each year that you hold the card then after. Now, unlike the Southwest strategy, which requires multiple cards, one of them being a business card, the Delta SkyMiles Platinum card is just one card, and it's got a lot of other great benefits alongside with it. Now, one pro tip, if you want to consider the SkyMiles Platinum, I highly encourage booking your companion ticket for about 5 to 6 months out. That guarantees the best possible availability and way to actually use that pass. Second, if you're hoping to use it in peak season travel around some of the biggest holidays in the US, well, don't hold your breath there, as often those seats are blacked out by Delta. Otherwise, this is an incredible value, and I peg it as being worth a couple $100 at least each year that you're able to use that free pass. Let's pop back into the hotel redemption side and look at value play number 3. This is redeeming credit card points for incredible experiences at Hyatt all-inclusive resorts. Now, one of the great all-time value plays in the credit card game is taking Chase points, which are generally easy and plentiful to earn, and transferring them over to the world of Hyatt partnership to redeem for excess value. Now, Hyatt makes things really easy to see how this would actually play out. Simply do a Google search for Hyatt Worldwide Locations map, and your first result is going to pull up an entire map of every Hyatt hotel or Hyatt all-inclusive resort funded in the World of Hyatt program. I found personally from a best valuation where you're getting the nicest properties for the least amount of points to kind of target your searches more towards those all-inclusives. And personally, if you're trying to save money when you're on vacation, I found that going the all-inclusive route really does save you a lot on food costs, so you don't have to eat out on your stay. It's really common to find cent per point values in excess of 2 or even 3 when looking at those all-inclusive properties, as long as you have a Chase Sapphire card, either the preferred at $95 or the new Reserve card. You're going to have the access to take your Chase points and transfer them on over to Hyatt. My recommendation for the best bang for your buck is just get that $95 Chase Sapphire Preferred, and with the standard sign-up bonus of 75,000 Ultimate Rewards points, you're going to be able to do some real damage on a Hyatt reservation with even just meeting that first welcome offer. I've talked about this on the channel before, but I've personally used this to book a 4-night stay at the Secrets Vallarta Bay in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where I booked 4 nights for 84,000 points. Those rooms would have had a cash price in excess of $2,000, and the point valuation came in at 2.4 cents per point for my 4-night redemption. Of course, not only was the value great, but the actual experience was one to remember, and I couldn't believe that we were able to fund this entirely off the back of a $95 Chase Sapphire Preferred credit card. Since we're on great redemption value, let's look at another incredible redemption to get to Europe and back from anywhere in the US with Virgin Atlantic. Now, if you're hoping to get to Europe this year, one of the most accessible options is going to be through Virgin Atlantic. Not only is it accessible, but you're also going to have a ton of opportunity to get really great value going through that airline. Here's why. The value play is earning credit card points off of almost pretty much any issuer, transferring those points over to Virgin Atlantic, and then making your reward booking. Let me show you exactly how. Now, the key here is that Virgin Atlantic points are easy to obtain. That's because Virgin Atlantic is a transfer partner with pretty much every major credit card issuer that earns transferable currency. So if you've got a card that's earning points, you've probably got access to Virgin Atlantic. Here's how you do it. Head on over to Virgin Atlantic's website. I'd personally take the time to create an account there and just facilitate the process and make it easier on yourself if you actually find a flight that you want to book. You could search any major US city one way over to Europe. For example, here's Atlanta to London on Virgin Atlantic in February for 7,500 points plus $110 in taxes and fees. Cash price for that same flight, $463. If we're looking for a cent per point valuation, well, we can put it into our cent per point calculator, where we take the flight price minus any taxes and fees and divide it by the amount of points necessary to redeem. That gives us a 4.7 cent per point valuation, which is unbelievable. What makes it even easier is that Virgin Atlantic highlights their cheapest days to fly on for the itinerary you selected right up at the top, so you can scroll day by day if you've got some flexibility in your travel plans. Now, here's a pro tip I'd suggest to anybody getting started. First, be flexible, but also use Virgin Atlantic's rewards seat checker to see what the going rates are for any seat class for an entire month at a time. To find these sweet spots at a glance, simply Google Virgin Atlantic rewards seat checker and then navigate through to search for your preferred route. Here, I input Atlanta as a departure city and search for London flights in January of 2026. You specifically want to look for those red Saver Award seats, and there are massive deals here that you can find, including an upper class seat, which is going to be your business class, to be found for just 29,000 points on Wednesday, January 14th. To get to Europe for just that amount of points is such an incredible value. You can play around with this, but it's really a great opportunity no matter what travel card you hold. Finally, let's look at value play number 5, using the Hilton Surpass card to target luxury free night awards. Now, I'll admit that this is a play that I'd slept on for quite some time, but after seeing how valuable using your normal spend to lock in free nights can be, well, I'm all in. Most people don't like putting a ton of spend on specific hotel or airline cards. There's a reason for that. The points aren't valuable and the earnings categories are kind of weak. However, if you want to target some of the nicest redemptions possible in the hotel game, the Hilton Surpass card and targeting a free night award could be the way to go. You can make this possible because the Surpass card earns an astounding 12x on Hilton purchases, 6x back on restaurants, supermarkets, and gas stations, 4x on online retail purchases, and 3x on everything else. Now remember, Hilton Honors points are worth roughly half a cent each, so mentally cut those valuations in two to compare it to what a normal credit card would give you. Still, that 6x on restaurants, supermarkets, and gas stations can be really powerful, and with the Surpass card, if you spend $15,000 in a calendar year, you'll get a free night award certificate, which is uncapped, and as long as there's a standard room available, can be redeemed at any Hilton property, including ones that would just blow your mind. A really easy example of how to use this for great value is if you spend $15,000 in that 6x category, well, you're going to get your certificate for hitting that spend requirement, and you're also going to have 90,000 Hilton Honors points just through the process of doing that spend. That would put you in a perfect position to redeem 2 nights at the Hilton Marco Island Beach Resort and Spa, which is just an incredible property and I think would be well worth it for someone wanting to get a quick getaway at least once a year. Now, I hope in at least one of these 5 value plays that I love right now, you found some new ideas to inspire your credit card journey or potentially give you a new strategy to pursue to create some awesome experiences for yourself and your family. If you notice that a credit card might be the right play for you, it would mean the world to me if you considered using the links below in the description if you decide to apply. That's one of the best ways to support my work on this channel. To all of you, thanks so much for watching. And if you have any questions on any of the strategies outlined today, please just comment them below and I'll do my best to help out.